looking at both sides, they want to make money off it. They need to make money off it. How are they going to do that? Well, there's a bunch of different ways they could have went about it, like, you know, incorporating into the battle pass, which they kind of did. That's the whole point of them giving the 1,000 coins. Like, the whole point of them not giving you the battle pass and the 1,000 coins is the illusion of choice, where you then buy the battle pass. So it's like, well, you're only paying $5 extra for the PvE missions. No, you are literally being manipulated with marketing. That's what that is. That's what marketing is to make you think you're getting a good deal. What you're getting is episode 1, quote unquote, right? You're getting a set of 3 missions. There's no way that's it. There's going to be drops later on. If we assume that there's 4 sets of episodes, which would be about 12 missions, which is about the standard length of a lot of campaigns. Like, you know, if you look at like Call of Duty missions on average, like they always had about 12 missions. Let's say there's 4 sets of PvE drops at $15 a piece, that's $60. Would you say Diablo, which has been a game that a lot of people say is a very well made game and was good, would you think Diablo is a $60 game if there was no end game? Like right when you beat Lilith, game's over. That's it. Nothing else to do. I'd argue no. I don't think people would. And that was originally what Overwatch's dream and goal was meant to be. And if you are a Seagull enjoyer, you would have known 9 months ago that there was never a chance it was even going to happen. Like there was just for some, like the amount of work it would have required to pull it off was just insane. And their dev team is too small to make it happen. Like there's no way it ever was going to work. But there's still a multi-billion-dollar company, and I don't feel bad for you. Like, I just don't. Like, you still print money. Your reason, there's a reason why it's sold for $69 billion. I don't feel bad for you in any way, shape, or form. I feel bad for the devs, sure. It's not their fault. I don't feel bad, though, because if you read the Bobby Kotick article that came out, the thing he most importantly likes is his image and his legacy. He doesn't give a shit about anything else. He cares about money, profits, and his image. That's what he gives a shit about. Doesn't give a shit about you, doesn't give a shit about me. And a lot of people at the same time, like USVB, realized that there's a bigger world out there with other games that also treat their communities really well and also still put out the good content and also still, like, you know, they're working on all these things in tandem. And I'm not saying Overwatch hasn't improved a ton. I would actually argue that in 2 or 3 years from now, Overwatch is probably going to be in a much better space than it is now, because I actually think that their new leadership with Aaron Keller has been a massive step up, and the decision to actually focus on PvP was the right call. But that doesn't excuse the fact that this multi-billion-dollar company made promises and made all these things for years and never supported it, and basically forced years of work that we'll never see. And also, you have to, you know, this part's a little bit more of a gray area, I guess, but it's like, the community believed that a lot of these things were coming, and, you know, you can argue, like, people were like, yeah, like, if you believe the Watchpoint pack gave you PvE, you're kind of an idiot. You didn't really read the whole way through. But these things add up over time. Like, why did you even sell the Watchpoint pack? Well, I'll tell you why you sold the Watchpoint pack, is because you were leading into Overwatch 2, and you needed to turn on the money printer somehow, and you were shutting off Overwatch 1, so to give access to Overwatch 1, plus Overwatch 2, you sold the ability to get into the beta early, so, like, FOMO, they were using the marketing tactic of FOMO, plus, like, these random skins. And dude, I'm gonna go on, like, the biggest fucking tangent today, but, like, the whole skin argument's insane too, because, like, if you look at the $15 bundle, they say the 1,000 coins is worth $10, and the Sojourn skin's worth $19. One, who made those prices? You did. Like, Blizzard,
you set the value.
You set the fucking value. If I don't play Sojourn, that skin has this much value to me. 0. I look at the $15 price tag and I go, we have to look at this objectively. Take out the marketing, take out the smoke and mirrors. It's $15 for 3 missions. And the Game Informer article that came out, which, by the way, there's a reason why they handpicked a Game Informer person. No negativity, has to be all positive, needs to be like glowing reviews of how fun the mission was. Took them 30 minutes. Game journalists are notoriously shit at video games. So if they took him 30 minutes, it probably will take me, or, you know, anyone who's experienced, about 25 minutes. For 3 missions, 25 minutes a piece. Being generous, say it's an hour and a half for $15. I don't know. Like, I can't buy it without the coins. I can't buy it without the skins. So, objectively, you have to look at the price of what the PvE mission is, and that is $15. The other stuff is fluff. They're doing it to get you to buy it. It's marketing. That's the whole point behind it. You can argue value, but you can also argue the other way. So would I say it's worth it to someone like me who's an Overwatch diehard? I'll buy it. Yeah, it's worth it to me because I've waited 4 or 5 years for this. If I'm the average casual player, I don't think there's a reason for you to touch it. I think you just watch the cinematic version on YouTube and you see the whole story and then that's it. You have a good time and you go on. What's the point? Why play it? Like, unless it's really good, which it could be, but it's not going to be replayable. It's like you're going to play it once or twice, maybe 3 times if you try to go for the like the legendary, and then you're going to move on. Do you think a game that's worth $60 you're going to play one time that's okay? Like you're going to play it once and then you're going to move on? I don't know. I think there's a lot of games out there you could probably get for that price and play it a lot more and a lot longer.